For fans and players of the silver and black, everything lately has been golden. Yesterday, the Sox finished off a 3-game sweep of Detroit with perfect baseball, big hitting, sparkling defense, and a great performance by Black Jack. But tonight, the city of Cleveland is alive with pennant fever as the Sox and Indians begin a battle for first in the AL Central.
From Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio, WGN is proud to present Chicago White Sox baseball. Tonight, it's the Big Hurt Frank Thomas and the Chicago White Sox versus Albert Belle and the Cleveland Indians. And hi, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio. With Tom Pachorik, I'm Ken Harrelson as the Sox get ready to take on the Tribe in the first of a huge 4-game set, as you were well aware of. Maybe the Sox coming in 5-3 against Cleveland this year. A lot of things going on, which we'll talk about later. But tonight, another good pitching matchup.
It's a great matchup. It's a rematch of Saturday night's thriller. Dennis Martinez, El Presidente, beat Wilson Alvarez 2-0. He was magnificent with a 4-hitter, but Wilson was no slouch either. He struck out 8 Cleveland Indian hitters in 8 at-bats, in 8 innings of work. And incidentally, the Cleveland Indians are just 11-14 against left-handed starters this season.
All right, sit back, relax, strap it down. First of this 4-game set. And we'll be back with the Sox and the Tribe right after this.
White Sox baseball on WGN is brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. Your local Ford dealer. Quality people with quality products. Coca-Cola Classic. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you. Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide. Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Southwest Airlines. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart.
Welcome back to Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio for the first of this big 4-game series, the Sox and the Cleveland Indians. It has been a while since a series of this magnitude involved the Cleveland Indians, and this town is ready to go. They are ready for it. 4 sellouts. All 4 games are sold out. The toughest ticket in a long time, they say. As a matter of fact, Ohio State and Michigan is the only tougher ticket they've seen in some time. But Dennis Martinez making his way in from center field. We had an opportunity earlier to have this game rained out, and all of a sudden, poof, the clouds disappeared. There were some severe thunder showers this afternoon, and they're still expecting some, but with any kind of a break, we might get this ball game in. The Tribe last night, the Sox had to sit on the ground at Midway for quite a while because of inclement weather. Finally got into Cleveland. We passed by the ballpark about 10:15, 10:20, and they were just in the 4th inning. So the Cleveland Indians last night defeated by the Texas Rangers in 13 in a 5-hour, 20-minute ball game, and certainly that bodes well for the Sox, Wimpy.
It really does, Hawk, because first of all, Dennis Martinez has got to be thinking about complete game this evening because that bullpen for the Tribe has been overworked, and they didn't get a whole lot out of it yesterday. All those guys were in the ball game, so right now Martinez has got to be thinking about pitching about the same as he did against the White Sox last Saturday night, and that was not too shabby. Shut out the White Sox on 4 hits. He struck out 4 while striking out 2, but he was like a surgeon out there. He just hit the corners in and out, up and down. Just a magnificent effort.
Well, I like what I've been reading in the papers since the Albert Belle cork bat incident. If there has been one Tribe player that has been very vocal, it has been indeed that guy right there, Dennis Martinez. And hopefully, in a lot of cases we've seen in the past, when a guy starts popping off like he has, then it puts more pressure on himself. But make no mistake about it, he is used to it. He is a magnificent pitcher. He has been in his career, and I fully expect to see another 5-pitch ball game from Martinez tonight. Sox coming in, as we mentioned, 5-3 against the Tribe. thus far this year, facing them for the final 4 games of the season. And Wimpy, it's nice to see coming to this ballpark, I should say to this city, for the first time in many, many, many years. Here we are in late July, and the baseball fever, well, the Indian fans have it.
Isn't that amazing? It's no more Cleveland Browns here in July. It's Cleveland Indians, and this whole city is just a buzz about the prospect of the Indians, you know, winning a championship, a divisional title, and proceeding on to the Fall Classic. And who knows, because they certainly do have the talent here. They've got a great nucleus of young players who have been signed to long-term contracts. You really have to take your hat off to John Hart for the great job that he has done as general manager. Last year, after 91 games, the Indians were just 42-49. This year, after 91 ball games, 54-37. 17 games over the 500 mark, which is a great tribute to their organization. White Sox 2 games ahead. Sox at that high water mark, 57-36. 21 games over the 500 mark. Everyone else looking up at the Sox and the Indians, and I'm sure all of baseball looking at this series as well. Well, the Tribe has taken the field. It looks like it's in very good shape. I'm sure the drainage here is excellent. Beautiful ballpark, Jacobs Field. Jake on the lake is what they call it. And here is Gene Lamont's starting lineup for the first place White Sox. Leading off at second base, Joey Cora. Batting second and left, Tim Raines. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, bats third, returns to first base. Cleanup man is DH Julio Franco. Robin Ventura plays third. He'll bat fifth, followed by right fielder the Deacon, Warren Newson. Lance Johnson is in center. He'll bat in the 7th spot. Hitting 8th behind the plate is Michael Vallier. And bringing up the rear at shortstop, Ozzie Guillen. Defensively, the Cleveland Indians have Albert Belle in left field. Kenny Lofton plays center. Manny Ramirez is in right. Jim Thome is at third base. Omar Vizquel, the shortstop. Alvaro Espinoza is the second baseman. Carlos Baerga out with that injury. Eddie Murray plays first. The battery of veteran Tony Pena and Dennis Martinez. El Presidente is 9-4 on the year with a 3.70 earned run average in 20 games. He has completed 5 of them. 2 shutouts, working 143 2/3, giving up 142 hits. 36 walks, that's a real good total. He has punched out 75, and the American League is hitting .257 against Martinez this year. He is 8-0 in his last 8 decisions, the last 12 starts. There you see his last start was a victory at Chicago, going 9 innings, gave up 4 hits, no earned runs. He walked 2 while striking out 4. And there's the umpire crew for tonight. Tim McClellan, the big guy at home plate. Dale Scott is at first base. Rocky Rowe at second. And Tim Cheetah is the third base umpire. So Dennis Martinez, who has won 217 ball games, losing 170 in his major league career. 39-year-old right-hander. And we are just about ready to go. They've done a nice job getting this field ready. As Hawk mentioned, torrential downfall this afternoon, but we are ready to go, and it looks like there's some pretty good skies overhead. Hopefully we'll have no delays this evening. Well, Joey Cora's in the batter's box, and once again, here's the Hawk-a-Roo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio for the first of a big 4-game set between the Sox and the Tribe. Sox coming in 2 games in front of Cleveland. They are 21 games over the 500 mark at 57-36. The Sox have a fine road record. They're 9 games over at 26-17, but the Tribe, well, they have been just awesome here at Jacobs Field. They are 17 games over, 30-13. So here's Joey Cora. Cora hitting at .285, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 26. 0 for 4 against Dennis Martinez in that game last Saturday. Outfield, short, swung around to the left. 325 down the left field line, 370 in left center, 405 straightaway center field, 375 in right center, and 325 down the right field line. A beautiful new ballpark here in Cleveland. Big Tim McClellan says that one misses, and the count evens at 1. They have played 2 games here at this ballpark, each team winning 1. There's a breaking ball hit up the middle. Omar Vizquel is there, sucks it up, throws him out, and the lead man down. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours.
Left fielder number 30, Tim Raines.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Tim Raines. Rock hitting at 262, 9 homers. He's knocked in 43. He was 1 for 4 against Martinez last Saturday with a double. He's done some damage against the Tribe this year, 13 for 36. Outfield bunch, they're straight up. Tomey even with a bag off the line at third. Murray back at first, well off the line. That fastball popped up into center field. Kenny Lofton. Out number 2. And let's check out our picks to click this evening. Skip Ellison, our producer director, and the crew went with Julio Franco. Wimpy went with Lance Johnson. I went with Tim Raines. So 2 out, and here's the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Frank hitting at 376, 34 homers. He's knocked in 84. He was 1 for 3 off Martinez. Takes a fastball strike. What wind there is blowing out towards left center. And that is a huge flag to get a barometer on. That's fastball on the inside corner. And the count 0-2. Now that is a huge Old Glory right there. One of the biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it is the biggest I've seen.
Wind shifting now, blowing in from left. Pena to the outside. Fastball catches the outside corner. Frank saying one of those has got to be a ball. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3 for Dennis Martinez. Nothing across for the Sox, and after having a play. So good guys, nothing, and the Tribe coming to bat. Let's check out the last pitch to the big hurt Frank Thomas. And you will see this is not even close. That ball might be 8 to 10 inches outside. Meanwhile, let's get to the lineups.
Right. As you look at the big hurt, here's Mike Hargrove's lineup for tonight. Cleveland, 2 games behind the Sox at the start of tonight's action. Leading off in center field, Kenny Lofton. Batting second at shortstop, Omar Vizquel. Jim Tomey is the third baseman. He'll bat third. Cleanup man, left fielder Albert Belle. Eddie Murray plays first and bats fifth, followed by right fielder Manny Ramirez. Candy Maldonado DHs tonight. He'll hit seventh. Batting eighth behind the plate is Tony Pena, and bringing up the rear at second, Alvaro Espinoza. He has thrown some leather against the Sox the last couple of years. Defensively, the Sox have Raines, Johnson, and Newson in the outfield. Ventura, Guillen, Cora, Thomas are the infielders. A battery tonight of Michael Valliere and Wilson Alvarez. Willie is 10-5 on the year with a 3.45 earned run average in 19 games started. He has completed 2 of them. 1 shutout, 124 2/3 innings, 118 hits. That's good. 49 walks, 86 strikeouts. And the American League batting .245 against Wilson. He lost that last start to Dennis Martinez and Cleveland, working 8 solid innings, 8 strikeouts, just 7 hits, 2 earned runs.
So the corner's in close. Ventura several steps on the grass. Big Frank at the cut of the grass at first. And here's Kenny Lofton. Hitting at .358, 10 homers. He's knocked in 45 runs. First pitch inside. Lofton 6 for 35 against the Sox this year. They've done a fine job on this man. In that 2-0 shutout by Martinez last Saturday. Lofton was 1 for 4 in that ball game against Wilson. Carlos Baerga, as you saw, is not in the lineup and possibly will miss this whole series. Upstairs, and the count evens at 1. Breaking ball low. Lofton had that average up 375 last Saturday. He's won for his last 20. Outfield playing him around to the left. Three and 1 to count. You don't want to walk this man. Chopper by Ventura. Lofton on his way to second base as Raines gets to it. High throw, not in time. The leadoff double.
Well, Wilson makes a good pitch on him right here. Actually, Lofton is way late on the swing. He just happens to get good enough wood on it because Robin is playing in on the grass, protecting against the bunt. Even with 3 and 1, you see he's late. Watch where he makes contact on that back hip. But he gets it down the line, and this man can flat fly. As he's leaving home plate, he's thinking double.
Well, Wilson threw him a pretty good pitch right there on 2 and 1, didn't get it. So that caused Ventura to have to stay in at third base rather than a 2-2 count where he could move back, and that would have just been an easy one hopper. So things not looking too good for the Sox as far as that part of the game goes thus far. Here's Omar Vizquel. Switch hitting shortstop. Does the job. One hopper. Now they got Lofton trapped off, and Robin will put it on him. Throw over to first base. Gets away from Frank Thomas. So Vizquel into second. Lofton got caught off. He had to hold up to see if Joey Cora was going to catch it in the air, and Joey Cora made a very heads-up play. That throw by Ventura.
Well, take another look at it. It's a one-hopper. Vizquel going the opposite way, but Lofton has to hold up for just a second. Kenny actually should have been back at second base. You got to make sure the line drive goes through. Now let's check out the throw by Ventura. That's catchable ball right there.
It's a catchable ball, but it's not a good throw. When that man's moving and you throw it at his feet, it's very, yeah, he could have caught it, but it's still, I'd give the error to Ventura. Here's Jim Thome. Third baseman hitting at 248, 15 homers. He has knocked in 42. And they give the error indeed to Ventura.
Yeah, I'd have given it to Frank.
Not when he's moving like that. Throw it at his feet, that's a tough play. But it was catchable. Outfield straight up. Lance just a couple of steps over towards Tim Raines. That ball hit in the left. Rock going back on the track. He's there. Vizquel tags. He'll move into third. And that's out number 2.
Well, Thome made pretty good contact right there. He got the barrel of the bat on it with a little bit of an inside-out swing, lefty versus lefty. Here's Albert.
Albert Belle hitting at 350, 28 homers. He's knocked in 82. He was 0 for 4 against Alvarez last Saturday with a couple of strikeouts, and he hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Fastball outside. Eddie Murray, the on-deck hitter.
See the American League home run leaders. Albert Belle's got 28, Big Frank 34, following behind Ken Griffey Jr., who hasn't been able to play in the last couple of days. The Kingdom falling in, the Tiles. That's tough. Isn't it amazing that they're going to have to play their next 4-game series at Boston, which was scheduled for Seattle?
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Curveball.
Ooh.
He got it up, and Belle fouled it back, thank goodness.
Albert Belle can hit a breaking ball. Tell you what, right here, Hawk, with first base open, if Albert Belle's going to do anything off me, it's going to be on a high fastball. You certainly don't want to throw him anything down with the heat where he can just drop the head of the bat on it. Alex Fernandez will attest to that. You're going to throw him anything right here, I got to say high heat.
Fastball upstairs, and the count 1-2. So ball 2 strikes, 2 out. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. I hope they just stay right out there like Pena did with Big Frank.
Yeah.
Just have LaValliere set up about a foot outside, hit the mitt, and ring him up.
Good concept. See what happens right here. 1-2.
Going inside. Got him on the inside corner. So Belle is gone. And that'll do it. Nothing across. It was a leadoff double by Lofton. 1 left after 1, nothing. Top of the second inning for the Sox. It'll be Franco Ventura and Warren Newson to face Dennis Martinez, who had a 1-2-3 first. Julio hitting at .323, 16 homers. He's knocked in 83. Against Martinez last Saturday, he walked, struck out, grounded to short, then he flied to right. Outfield bunch, swung slightly around to the right. There's a shot on a breaking ball right back to the middle. So Franco, Skip Ellison's pick to click, starts it off with a solid single.
Well, Julio just following up on that 8-for-16 series that he had against the Tigers. Drove in 6 runs in 3 games. And boy, he was right on that curveball. Presidente got that one up a bit, and he paid. Take a look at this curveball. Right there, it's out over the plate, but it's up. Just about belt high, and Julio, watch him. Those hands stay back, that back foot completely off the ground right there, and he rips it right back at the pitcher.
Here's Robin Ventura hitting at .271, 16 homers. He's knocked in 70. Tries to bunt it. Now Tommy in fair territory, comes up with it. Oh my goodness, Sox catch a break right there.
Big time.
Yes.
That ball looked like it was slicing away from Tommy. There's no way that could have stayed fair. Oh, there's a big mistake by the young third baseman of the Tribe. Wow. Robin with the drag bunt pops it up. Now watch the spin right here. The spin is taking it foul, and right there Tommy picks it up. That ball would have gone foul about 2 feet in front of the bag. Take another look. See that spin?
Oh yeah, that ball's definitely going foul.
Yeah. Good camera work right there, as we saw, especially on the last one.
Here's Warren Newson hitting at .222, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 4. And that game back at Comiskey Park, Deacon pinch hit against Martinez and single back through the middle. So Franco at second, Ventura at first. Nobody out. Watch out.
Whoa. Good throws got him. If that throws on the third base side of the bag, Tony Pena is going to get Julio Franco right there.
Well, Warren Newson really didn't do a real good job right there of getting the bat back. Boy, when you see it, you're not going to bunt the ball. You got to get that bat out of there so you can give that runner at second a little bit of flexibility.
Oh, without a doubt. Julio's just trying to get a good jump. He's an excellent base runner. But Warren kept that bat in that strike zone a little bit too long.
Now Pena, Martinez. Pena looking at Tomey. And Martinez finally set. Takes the bunt off, fouls it away, and the count evens at 1. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Sox. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Tribe here in the top of the second inning if you joined us late.
That was a pretty good pitch for Deacon to handle right there. A curveball on 1-0. Kind of a surprise, too, because that was still a bunt situation. And the easiest pitch in the world to bunt certainly is something off speed, that high fastball, the most difficult.
Sellout crowd here at Jacobs Field. In fact, all 4 of these games are sold out. That fastball slash foul. So with the count 1-2 to Warren Newson here in the top of the second, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
One and 2 the count. A little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good eye, Newsom. Martinez, as Wimpy mentioned, 217 career victories against 167. Check that, 69 losses. And he will definitely back it down when he gets runners on base. Another heater upstairs, fouled away. Upper tank. And a big souvenir. Indians averaging 38,627.
That's amazing, isn't it? What, about 20,000 more than they averaged at the old park?
Yeah.
That's something.
Ka-chink, ka-chink.
Thank you. You're never going to get Art Modell over here, though.
No. There's a little looper into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit as Lofton gets to it on the first hop. So the base is loaded with nobody out here in the second inning.
Center fielder number 1.
Warren Newson gets a breaking ball right here. He wants it down and in. He got it in, but it was up a little bit. He just fisted over the infield. Jam sandwich right there, and it works. Julio Franco couldn't get a real good jump because he knows the speed of Kenny Lofton, and he doesn't want to get doubled up on that particular play. So Lance Johnson with a great opportunity. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Lance hitting at 270, a homer. He's knocked in 47 on the season. Lance 0 for 3 against Martinez. Last Saturday, fly to center. Robbed of a base hit on a nice play by Manny Ramirez in right. And he popped to the shortstop. Here's a breaking ball strike. This Cleveland outfield, especially Kenny Lofton, will play shallow. And as we saw back at Comiskey Park and earlier in the year, they will bunch most hitters.
And play as shallow, probably the shallowest outfield in the league. Rely on that athletic ability, especially the guy in center field.
Turns that one over. And the count evens at 1. Mike LaValliere on deck. And Ozzie in the hole. Sacks packed with Sox in a scoreless tie.
Step out, Lance. Yeah. Well, you're right. Martinez really does slow it down when anybody gets on base.
That's low. So the count 2-1 to 1 dog. Rope him into right center. Breaking ball hit hard. Off the hand of Alvaro Espinosa as only players over to first base. They get Johnson as Julio Franco scores, and it's 1-0 good, guys. There was a bullet off the bat of Lance Johnson.
And Lance got a 2-1 curveball right here. Boy, he waited back nicely. His hand stayed back perfectly. The pitch was up by Martinez. And watch how Lance keeps those hands back, gets everything, get the head of the bat out, that back heel just completely off the ground, the back foot that is. One hop. Espinosa does a good job of keeping it in front of him. But still 2 runners in scoring position for LaValle. Your Sox lead at 1-0.
LaValle 0 for 1 against Cleveland this year. Did not play against Martinez last Saturday. Takes a fastball strike. Martinez will really move the fastball, put movement on it. He'll run it away from the left-hander, in on the right-hander. That's his best movement. But he also can run it away to the right-hander and into the left-hander. Give you all those different angles. Good, quick curveball. Really works the ball well. That's up high at the heater. And the count 1-1. Ozzie on deck.
Well, Martinez will also throw an occasional changeup. Well, that is certainly not his best pitch. The curveball has always been outstanding.
A pitch inside, 2-1. Now Martinez once again. Murray just about a half a step behind the bag and off the line at first. Tomey now coming in even with the bag at third. That fastball loop foul. And it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. A run on 3 hits for the Sox. No runs on 1 hit for the Tribe.
And with 1 out, runners at second and third, I'm sure the contact play will be on here, even though the infielders are in at the corners. Ground ball. Robin will try and score, take a chance, because Warren Newson will get into third regardless of what happens to Robin.
A big pitch for Martinez, the 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Alvaro Espinosa is there, up with it over to Murray. They get LaValle. Ventura scores, and it's 2-0 good, guys.
The shortstop, number 13, Ozzie Guillen.
Don't stop now, Oz. Sox have been the best club in the major leagues at 2-out scoring this year. Ozzie hitting at .262, a homer. He's knocked in 33. And Martinez only started against the Sox. Ozzie was 0 for 3. Fakes a bunt, backdoors him with a curveball. Very quiet, subdued crowd here at Jacobs Field.
I was just going to say that.
You were?
Yeah. After that double by Kenny Lofton, they just went crazy, and all of a sudden, since then, they have had nothing to cheer about.
Runs that fastball away. Ozzie just flips it up into one of the 3 mezzanine sections here.
At least.
Boy, they've got some super sweets here. Big time.
Boy, it's just nice to see a fan in every seat here in Cleveland. We're so unused to that at the old ballpark.
Inside, misses. Good eye, Ozzie, and the count 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Against Martinez, one reason he has been successful from an offensive standpoint, when you step in that box, you know he has good control. You know he will bust you inside. You know he can get all his pitches over. Ergo, you've got a big strike zone to cover. It's hard to really be a real aggressive hitter against him. That fastball, that's flip foul. Belle giving chase, and he'll run out of room first row.
Well, Dennis Martinez really a bit unlucky in this inning. You talk about the Franco hit a hanging curveball for a solid single. Then Robin's bunt attempt was definitely going foul. Jim Thome picked it up, so Robin reaches on an infield single. Warren Newson was fisted, got himself a hit, and then 2 ground balls, so that produced the 2 runs. So if he gets out of this inning with a down 2-0, he has done a good job of pitching.
You mentioned it. The big play was that bunt by Ventura. The 1-2. Ozzie looks like he's looking dead inside off Martinez, and he's going dead away.
Tell you one thing, Martinez has thrown a lot of pitches this inning.
Good.
Tell you what, there's not a whole lot of help out there in that bullpen this evening. I looked at that box score from last night, and that bullpen was way overused.
Good.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball in the hole. Vizquel backhands it very quickly over the top to Murray. Keeps his foot on the bag. They get Guillen, and that'll do it. But the Sox come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. No physical errors. They leave 1, and after an inning and a half, 2-0 good guys. 2-0 Sox here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Wilson Alvarez making his 20th start of the season. He is 2-1 this year against the Tribe, 4-2 lifetime. And he will face Murray, Ramirez, and Maldonado.
The first baseman, number 33, Eddie Murray.
Well, certainly, Wimpy, when you go on the road, you got a 2-game lead over your closest pursuer, Cleveland. Each and every game is important, but when they're throwing their stud, their ace, Dennis Martinez, against you, who's won 8 in a row, 8 in his last 12 starts, jumping out to a big lead is very important.
Oh, it's huge, especially after that heartbreaking loss they had last night to Texas. They had the game won, but Manny Lee, a 3-run homer, set into overtime.
Eddie Murray fouls a curveball away. The psyche in these big series, when you know you're playing to capacity crowds, you know you're playing to first base, you know there's a possibility of a strike, you know it's paramount that you be in first place if in fact the strike comes. These are all big factors that every player is well aware of. That fastball hit into center field. That's a can of corn for Lance Johnson. So 2 pitches, 1 out.
And a lot of people might ask, well, how are you going to get up for a ball game after playing for 5 hours last night? You might ask a Cleveland player, well, heck, if they can't get up for this series against the White Sox, they don't deserve to be playing anyway. So those guys in the bullpen, they just got to suck it up if they're called on the pitch and just gut it out, because that's what they're being paid for. And as far as an everyday player who played the whole thing last night, they just got to suck it up too and go out there and do the best that they can.
Yeah, what time did they finish last night? About 1:20, 1:15?
Yeah, about 1:20.
Here's Manny Ramirez, the right fielder, just 22 years old, hitting at .252, 13 homers. He's knocked in 46. Ramirez 3 for 20 against Sox pitching this year, but 2 of those have left the yard. Yeah, you can get yourself up coming off a marathon like they had last evening. You can get yourself up for a big series and even look forward to it coming to the ballpark, which is a critical time for players. But what will happen is after that series is over, usually it'll catch up to you.
You know, I think you're right there, Hawk. Yeah, that's true. Those bullpen guys working a lot of extra innings. I think if they had been playing a non-contending team, they'd be a lot worse off.
That's out of play right side. And the count 1-2.
Well, you know, you look at last night's ball game. They had Mark Clark, who pitched brilliantly and beat Jack McDowell last weekend at Comiskey Park, going against the Texas right-hander Detmer, who was 0-4. And you got to figure Cleveland's going to win this ball game with their big bats. Clark breaks his wrist on a line drive off the bat of Gary Reedus, and heck, that really was a big letdown.
There's a hard one. Hopper Ozzie up with it. Over to Big Frank. 2 down. Yeah, that's a tough break. The fractured wrist of Mark Clark. Severely sprained ankle of Carlos Baerga. You know, personally, I'd rather seen Baerga in there.
Me too.
I want the, when you come in for a series, I want the best they got. And I'd like to have seen Mark Clark pitching in this series.
Darn right. I would too. You just want to see everybody at full strength.
That's right. 2 good ball clubs. I want to see the best players on the field.
Look at that. Baerga, 328 with 70 RBIs, and Mark Clark with 11-3 record.
Check swing strike to Maldonado. He's hitting at .216, 5 homers, but he's only knocked in 11 runs. 0 for 6 this year against the Sox. And you know, most of the players feel exactly the same thing, except for pitchers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
They'd love to see Baerga. Yeah. They're happy he's out of there, and they'd like to see Albert Belle out of there
and
as well,
Kenny
serving
Lofton,
a suspension.
sure.
But
Yeah.
most of the position players, when they go in and play somebody that change up outside, they want to see the other team's best, and they want the other team's best out there on that mound. That's just the way it is for good ball clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, pitchers are a different breed,
Yes,
aren't they?
they are. That pitch a little low. Just like Ted Williams said, they better thank the good Lord they could throw a baseball.
They wish that 9 Brinky boys were in the lineup, don't they?
That fastball, he's tardy out of play right side. So a lot of deuces on that board. And of course the obvious situation, the impending appeal and resolution of the Albert Belle cork bat. I've had enough of that. I've had it. It's old.
Yeah.
It's old stuff right now. There's a shot, base hit by Ozzie. You know, I noticed in the paper, though, just to finish up and conclude on it, that the Indian players were saying they wish the Sox would stop whining. And I haven't seen many quotes from the Sox. All the quotes I've been seeing coming from the Indian players. They're the ones that've been whining.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they're not. They don't have. The Sox don't have anybody suspended. I haven't heard anything really detrimental coming from a White Sox mouth or anything that even remotely resembled a whine. You know, it's the I can't catch or break attitude that some of these Cleveland guys have been expounding upon for the last few days. Heck, don't do it.
Tony Pena steps in. He has been to the plate 14 times this year against Sox pitching and has 7 hits. Outfield playing him well around to the right. Takes the off-speed pitch down low. Fastball up high and the count 2-0. Alvaro Espinosa, the on-deck hitter. Boy, this has turned out to be a lovely evening for baseball. 2 hours ago, it didn't look too good.
No, it didn't. The sun was shining all day long in Cleveland. All of a sudden, early afternoon, those clouds rolled in and it poured.
Pena helps him out. So a 2-1 count. Tomorrow night it'll be Jason Brea against Jack Morrison. We'll have that game for you right here over WGN. Then on Saturday, Scott Sanderson against Jason Grimsley, and finale on Sunday before the Sox take off for a 4-game set at Kauffman Stadium against the Royals. It'll be Alex Fernandez against Charles Nagy. There goes the runner. There goes the throw in time. Easy. Throw out as Maldonado did not get a good jump. That'll retire the side. Nothing across after 2. Sox by 2. Right-hander Dennis Martinez taking his warm-up tosses here in the top of the 3rd inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Sox. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Cleveland.
Well, Martinez really shut it down from a rhythm standpoint in that 2nd inning, working very, very slowly. Now it looks like he's taking his time with his warm-ups.
It'll be the top of the order for the Sox. Cora, Raines, and Big Frank Thomas. And a reminder, on Friday, July 29th, the first 20,000 fans entering the ballpark for the Sox game against Seattle will receive a pinstripe White Sox cap, compliments of Insure One. Game time is 7:05, and tickets can be purchased by calling 312-831-1-SOX. Here's Cora, grounded out to Vizquela's first trip. Fastball strike, outside corner. Other American League action, Oakland beat Baltimore 4-3 at the Coliseum. New York takes on the Angels at the Big A in Anaheim. Texas just getting underway at Skydome. No score, bottom of the 1st inning. And Minnesota against the Brewers at County Stadium. One pitch. Let up. Down low, and the count 2-1. And then Oakland 4-3 victory over Baltimore. Eckersley the winner 3-4. Eichhorn the loser 5-4. Big Ben McDonald left that game in the 6th with arm tightness. That ball hit into left field. Albert Belle did not get a good jump. Kenny Lofton will not be able to get there. Extra bases for Cora as Belle finally gets to it. A leadoff double for Little Joey, his 13th two-bagger.
Well, that strategy of playing very, very shallow kind of backfired on the Indians right there. Both Albert Belle and Joey Cora, and Kenny Lofton very shallow for Joey. And you can see he just goes that way. Pitch is tailing away from him. Kenny Lofton with a great jump and a super effort, but he's not able to get there. Albert Belle had no chance because that ball was hit too deep for him. He was playing way, way shallow on that particular at bat.
And then couldn't get started.
Yeah.
Lofton saw it. Boy, he can cover a lot of ground in a hurry. So it's up to Tim Raines to get Joey over to third. Rock fly to Lofton his first trip. He did not go, says. That's Rocky-Rowe. At third, not Tim Cheetah. Rocky-Rowe, the crew chief. Outfield. Bunched and shallow once again. Belle a little bit deeper. There's a breaking ball strike, and the count evens at 1.
Here's a reminder that on Sunday, July 31st, all kids ages 14 and under attending the White Sox game against the Seattle Mariners at 1:35 will receive a Waldo the White Sox Wolf Kids Cap, courtesy of Coca-Cola. For tickets, call 312-831-1-SOX.
Vizquel holding his ground at short. He'll probably move in. There he goes, just jockeying in. Little token fake. There's a fastball right there. And the count 1-2. Starts him off with a curveball low. Comes back with another curveball for a strike. Fastball right down the heart strike. Eddie Murray way off the line at first. That fastball runs it away. And it's 2-2. Sox on a 4-game winning streak. And as we mentioned at the top, the Tribe, they have just been awesome here at Jacobs Field. Had that 18-game winning streak earlier. New franchise record. And they've had some great clubs in the past, going way back to Wimpy's time.
Oh, we were tough.
He's going to get the job done as that's off. Now Joey slips, cannot go to third base. Joey had to hold because the ball went off the glove of Martinez, so it'll be 1-4-3 if you're scoring. And then as he started to turn around and go to third, he slipped.
Yeah, stuff really happens. You know, there's a lot of guys out there spinning their wheels on defense, and now it happened to Joey on the turf. It might be just a little bit wet out there. You see right there, he stops and he slides, and right at that moment, he feels like Espinosa could gun him out at third base.
He could have.
Yeah.
Good play by Joey. Tough play for the runner when that ball's right back at the pitcher. So here's Big Frank. He was called out on 3 pitches. Pena to the outside. That fastball hit deep into right center field. Lofton goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! 2-run shot by the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, and it's a 4-0 Sox lead.
Oh, my. Well, whatever cheers you hear in the background, it's from the White Sox fans who traveled here from Chicago. I'll tell you what, it was the fastball. He struck him out on a pitch that appeared to be outside his first time up, and Frank had to be laying in the weeds right there as he looked for this fastball. See where Pena is. And this one tails back over the plate, the outer half of the plate. See that late movement right there really did Martinez in, because it started off right on the corner, came into the outer half, and Frank smoked him.
Here's Franco. Takes a sidearm fastball strike. Julio singled on a breaking pitch last inning to start off that 2-run second. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Sox. No runs, 2 hits for Cleveland. There's a bunt. Martinez, a good fielder, barehands it very quickly over to Murray in time. And that's out number 2. So Big Frank now with 35 homers and 86 knocked in.
He's really good, isn't he?
He got a chance.
Man, to go the opposite way like that. Lofton just looked up along with Manny Ramirez. Big Frank. I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a play by Martinez just a moment ago. Julio, pretty good bunt. If it's a little bit closer to the line, he's got himself an easy bunt single.
Here's Robin. Had a bunt single last inning and scored. Tomey playing way back at third. Looks at a sinker low. So with the count 2-0 to Robin Ventura, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with Tom Detroit, Ken Harrelson from Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio. 4-game series with the Tribe. And the Sox jump out to a quick 4-0 lead. Change up, good one. Good motion from Martinez. Comes back with ball 4. So the first walk issued by the 39-year-old veteran right-hander. And here comes Warren Newson. He flipped a little duck snort into center field last inning. Breaking ball on the 5th. Turned out to be a big hit.
You know, the one thing I hope that Wilson Alvarez doesn't get caught up in the slowness of Dennis Martinez, and he continues to work quickly. Reestablish that rhythm again.
There's a two-hopper to Alvaro Espinoza. Sucks it up, throws him out, and that'll do it, but not before the big hurt. Frank Thomas, 35th homer, knocks in Cora, and after 2.5, 4-0, good guys. Tail of the tape here in the bottom of the third inning. 4-0 Sox. For the Tribe, it'll be Pena, Espinoza, then the top of the order, Kenny Lofton, to face Wilson Alvarez. Checking some action in the National League, bottom of the fourth inning at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Cardinals leading the Braves 6-3. That's a doubleheader. Later on, Pittsburgh takes on the Astros in Houston. There's a fastball strike. Outfield swung well around to the right. Curveball misses, and the count evens at 1.
All right, Hawk-a-Roo. Tony Pena is one of 6 active Major League catchers with 100 or more home runs. Who are the other 5 active? Lance Parrish.
Fouls that breaking ball off. While we get those numbers, a reminder of the patio area at Comiskey Park. That's the Bertucci boys out there. That's available for pregame parties, for groups, and now for individuals as well. So for information on the patio area, just call the Sox sales department at 312-924-1000. Tettleton.
Yes.
Here's a 1-2 pitch.
Whoa.
2-2. How about Matt Noakes? Matt's got to have 100 or so, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's probably in that area. Yeah, Noakes should.
Wilson wanted that pitch, didn't get it from McClellan, and the count full. Okay, let's see. I don't think Mike McFarland has 100.
No.
Steinbach's got to have 100.
Yeah, Terry Steinbach.
Fouls that pitch away.
Piazza doesn't quite have it.
He's getting there in a hurry, though, isn't he?
2 years.
Wow.
He's going to have it next year for sure. That's amazing. That young man.
Darren Dalton.
Oh, yeah. Very good call. Darren Dalton's way up there.
There's a shot. 1-3-2 fastball. So the leadoff man aboard for the Tribe.
Second baseman, number 10, Alvaro Espinoza.
Boy, Tony Pena looks a lot more dangerous at the plate this year than he did last year with the Red Sox, doesn't he?
Man, he looked like he was through last year.
Yeah, he looked almost helpless at the plate. It looked like you could knock the bat out of his hands. Well, he's hit a lot of line drives against the Sox in the few appearances that he's made against us.
Here's Espinoza hitting at 263, a homer. He's knocked in 17, 1 for 6 this year against the Sox. Has B.J. Surhoff got 100? He's right. He's close.
Yeah, he's probably in the area.
That pitch popped up right side. Big Frank, foul territory. And there's one out. So with one down, that'll bring up Kenny Lofton.
You know, I'm thinking of that question, Hawk. What comes into my mind is I'm thinking that there's such a lack of depth when you think about catchers in baseball today.
That is the position that has been eroding over the past 10 years, more so, much more so than any other one.
Oh, yeah. All the other ones are just seems to be getting better and better. But that catching spot, I'll tell you what,
But there are a couple of good ones coming in now. I'll tell you, this Dave Nielsen.
Oh, yeah.
Is a good-looking player. That kid Matt Wall back at Minnesota is a good-looking catcher.
Yeah.
Switch hitter. As Lofton stands in, he doubled, leading off the bottom of the first.
Of course, Mike Piazza owns the position right now.
I don't think there's anybody even close.
Well, for gamesmanship, you'd have to consider Dalton.
Here's a ground ball right side. Cora up with it. Ozzie drops the ball. He never had control of it. Trying to do too much too quick, and he's hurt. Mayerung is Belle.
I would think so. There's no way he's going to get a double play anyway on Kenny Lofton. If Joey Cora's got to move one step either way, I don't care how hard the ball is hit, they're not going to double up Kenny Lofton. So he just came flying across the bag really wildly. As you can see, it's a good throw by Joey. And he just doesn't come up with it.
No, you're not going to get Kenny Lofton right there. I got him on it looked like he got him inside the thigh area. Or it may have bounced over on the Bell. And the way Dr. Herm's going about it, that's where it got him.
Yeah.
So the second error of the ball game committed by the Sox. And with one out, Wilson Alvarez is going to have to pitch over it.
Yeah, Ozzie just a little bit overzealous right there. You know, of course, that happens in big series. You want to make that key double play to get out of an inning. But in that situation, you're just not going to double up Kenny Lofton. He's just too fast. He's just flying out of that batter's box once he makes contact.
That'll bring up Omar Vizquel. Get into a 4-5. Boy, you don't see that very often. 4-5 fielder's choice. And if you did not see that, hit a little short hopper to Joey Cora that Lofton held up to see if the ball was going to be caught. Got cut off second and in a pickle, as there's a fastball strike. There was a second baseman for the Oakland Athletics who was a brilliant defensive player, Dick Green.
Right.
And Dick Green would make that 4-5 play more than any other second baseman I have ever seen. That ball hit high and deep into left field, but Tim Raines has the bead. And the ball got a high changeup right there.
Thank goodness it was Omar Vizquel that was the hitter. Albert Belle might have hit that ball.
Third baseman, number 25.
Oh, that Budweiser sign out there in left center field, yeah. Oh boy, that's just a real bad pitch by Wilson. He got away with it. I've never been a fan of throwing, not that he's a bad hitter, but to a weak hitter as Vizquel to throw him a changeup.
A Judy hitter.
Yeah, just don't like that pitch. I do not like a changeup.
To those line drive, ping, Judy type hitters.
Absolutely. To the strong hitter, yes.
Here's Jim Thome. He flied deep to rock his first at bat. Yes.
Interesting, too, against the left-hander, Mike Hargrove is forced to go with a left-handed hitter, Jim Thome, in a number 3 spot in the lineup. That's a big break for the Sox and Alvarez.
We hope.
Well, yeah, you would think so.
On the surface, you're right.
Yeah.
Because Alvaro Espinosa would be at third base probably in this game as he takes the ball. He was against Wilson last Saturday.
Well, you mentioned Tomey has always been dangerous, though. I'll tell you what, if he gets his pitch, he can hit it a long way, regardless if there's a righty or a lefty on the mound.
Curveball misses, and the count 2-1. Albert Belle on deck. Four runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Sox. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Cleveland. Fastball, base hit. Extra bases. Lofton, he's flying. Newson gets the ball in. They're going to hold Lofton at third on a beautiful play by Warren Newson. As Pena scores, and it's a 4-1 ball game.
Well, Tomey did a nice job of hitting right here. He works to a fastball count at 2-1. That's why I don't particularly like that curveball on the third pitch, because if it misses, he's forced to throw that heater down. And he's a good low ball hitter. He just drops the head of the bat on the ball and hooks it. Watch it right here. Just dropping the head. It's just below the belt, and he smokes it. And Newson does a real nice job, because Kenny Lofton is low flying at this point. I was surprised they held him at third.
Newson got to it very quickly as Albert Belle steps in. He was called out on an inside fastball to end the first. Curveball hit deep into right field. Newson goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. 3-run homer for Belle, and the game is tied at 4.
Well, this is just a horrible pitch. You know, we talked about it last time with first base open. Wilson, if he's going to beat you, you got to get Albert Belle with the high heat. Watch it right here. That's just a bad pitch. I mean, just a hanging curveball, a spiral. Boy, you hate to get beat on a pitch like that, especially with first base open with Albert Belle, the hitter.
So 4 unearned runs for the Indians here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ouch. 4 unearned runs. Here's Eddie Murray. Check swing. Ground ball, Big Frank. He'll take it, and that'll retire the side, but a big error by Ozzie as Cleveland comes up with 4, and after 3, tied at 4. There it is. Top of the 4th inning. Game tied at 4. 4 unearned runs for Cleveland. If there's anything that will rejuvenate a ball club, playing against your competition that you're trying to catch for first place, you fall behind. All of a sudden, the other team makes a mistake, and you jump up and grab them. That'll get you right back in the hunt mentally.
Yeah, reestablish your momentum. Get the fans back in the game, too.
Good change right there in the count. 1-1 to Lance. He drove in a run back in the second with a ground ball to Alvaro Espinoza. There's a chopper, Espinoza. 1 out. And let's check out tonight's Aflac trivia question. Who did the Indians beat in the World Series to win their last title? Here's Mike LaValliere. He also knocked in a run with a ground ball right side. Takes a fastball away. 2-0 the count. Gets the fastball over. Guillen on deck. 2-1 to LaValliere. Whole lot of baseball left in this game. Curveball. 2-2.
And that's the thing about Martinez. He can grab a strike with any one of his breaking pitches regardless of the count. There's a good hook right there on 2-1.
It's that one. Eddie Murray's got it. And they're 2 down.
Ozzie Guillen is the hitter. Hit total even at 5, but the White Sox have made 2 big errors in this game. Big blows, 2-run shot by Frank Thomas and a 3-run homer by Albert Belle. And that's what the fans came out here to see at Jake on the Lake. Jacobs Field in beautiful downtown Cleveland. Ozzie 0 for 1. Grounded out his first time. Can't get the slow curveball. Dennis Martinez will throw a fastball. That's around 90 miles an hour. High 80s to 90, but with great movement. He'll sink it. He'll cut it. Throws a curveball, which might be his best pitch, and he'll pitch off of that curve. He'll put a little bit more on it and become a slider or slurve, and he'll also throw a changeup. There's a good fastball. Ozzie swings. Just got a piece of it. 0-2. And that's the thing that Martinez did his last time against the Sox. Last Saturday night, he was 0-2, 1-2 on every Sox hitter that came up there. Ergo, 4-hit shutout. Not so this evening, as he has struggled through 3 innings of work, but he's back to even. And that should add a little juice to him also, because he has struggled. He has worked very slowly in this ball game up to this point. Wilson Alvarez, on the other hand, has worked relatively quickly, but he did make a couple of bad pitches last inning. Got behind Tomey, had to throw the fastball in there with Albert Belle looming on deck. Albert hit the first pitch, a hanging curveball into the seats in right center after Wilson struck him out on fastballs. There's a curveball, strike 3. 1, 2, 3 for Martinez. We have completed 3.5 from Jacobs Field. We're tied at 4. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Jacobs Field in Cleveland. 4-4 tie. Wilson Alvarez against Dennis Martinez. In the Cleveland 4th, Alvarez will be facing Manny Ramirez, Candy Maldonado, and Tony Pena. 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Cleveland lineup. Well, the Tribe sent 7 hitters to the plate and scoring those 4 unearned runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Dennis Martinez works a 1, 2, 3, 4th. And we'll see if Cleveland can capitalize on those 4 runs. Sox in the outfield deep and straight away for the youngster from Brooklyn. Or New York City, that is. He got a curveball. Rips it into left field. And Wilson does not have a good curveball tonight. They are right on it. That is at least the 3rd hit he's given up on the curveball, and it's just a roller. Maldonado hit a rope to left field with it. Albert Belle hit a 3-run homer to right center on just a spiral. And right there from Ramirez, a solid single to left. So here's Candy Maldonado. He's 1 for 1. He was caught stealing to end the 2nd inning. Sox will swing around to right field, claim to hit the opposite way, and the infield in double play depth. First pitch, changeup. I don't know, watching Alvarez work so far, Hawk, I got to think he's got to be a little bit more proud of that fastball. Well, he's sure getting hurt on his, by far.
second best pitch.
Oh, yeah. Second and third best. As he falls behind with the breaking ball, he throws the fastball upstairs. So 2-0 on Maldonado. Of course, when you're working good, you got your good rhythm and you're in sync, you can throw that first pitch breaking ball.
Well, if you got a good breaking ball at night, you can throw it. But when you don't have, you got to work around that thing. You can't make that a primary pitch.
That fastball misses down low, so he falls behind Maldonado 3-0 with a runner at first base. So Cleveland getting the upper hand here as we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Maldonado hitting at 227 as he stands in. He pitches way outside. So runners at first and second with nobody out. First walk issued by Alvarez this evening, and Tony Pena will hit. And the Sox will have a meeting at the mound. Definite bunt situation. We'll see how Mike Hargrove and Gene Lamont wants to play it defensively. Jeff Newman is the third base coach for the Tribe. Davey Nelson over at first. Six hits for the Indians, 5 for the White Sox. As neither one of these guys are pitching as well as they did their last outing.
They're not even close.
No. Well, that's amazing how that stuff can leave you, but it's battle time right now. Gut check. It's bunted right side. Get fouled. Frank has one choice as that ball is hugging the line. Sacrifice was perfect there by Pena. Boy, Frank had to pick that one up. It looked like it was going to stay fair.
Well, you got to figure with Kenny Lofton on this Cleveland ball club, that first baseline, probably the third baseline as well. I don't know. We haven't seen him roll any balls down there prior to the game. They had the tarp on. Played 2 games here in the first series. Tarp was on one of those. You got to figure those things are going to be slanted back to fair territory.
Yeah, Kenny Lofton with 12 bunt hits already on the season. Frank has one choice, and that's to get Pena. He lets that one go. We got a bases loaded, no out situation. So the infield is back up the middle. Frank Thomas just behind the bag at first. Robin a step behind at third. They can go home. Espinosa popped up his first time up. He fouls that fastball straight back. Here's a situation right here where you got to think Alvarez got to rear back and fire with Espinosa. He's got to go strikeout pop-up right here.
Well, you got to figure out if you're going to get beat, how you going to get beat. If you're going to get beat, you got to get beat with your best pitch, your best stuff. He's been having trouble with a breaking ball.
Good heater. He fouls that one back as he's tardy. So Alvarez gets ahead with the fastball 0-2. Activity for the White Sox in the bullpen is Jose De Leon.
Because you don't have a good curveball does not mean you can't throw it. But when you do throw it, it's got to be as a show-me pitch.
Yeah.
And you got to show him the off-speed stuff, not up in the zone like he's been getting the ball, and then come back with your best pitch, which is his heater.
There's a fastball grounded to shortstop. Ozzy's going to get the out at third. Maldonado tagged out. Good play by Guillen as the run scores. So that'll be an RBI for Espinosa. 6-5 if you're scoring at home. See the play by Ozzy. He's got it right in front of him. Maldonado does not have good speed, and the contact play obviously on for Cleveland there with one out.
Well, that's just a bad base running play by Maldonado.
Yeah. Yeah, and contact doesn't mean that he has to come to third. It just means that the runner from third is coming. Here's Lofton. Kenny a double, safe on an error, and scored a run. There's a fastball, misses inside. 5-4 Cleveland here in the bottom of the fourth. as the Indians have scored 5 unanswered runs here in the last 2 innings. Throw over to first base. Espinosa not going anywhere. Alvaro 1 for 4 in stolen bases. Not a threat. There's 2-0 to Lofton as that heater misses upstairs. Kenny hitting at .358 as he stands in. He's 10 homers, 45 driven in, 48 stolen bases. This young man can play. I tell you, he's fun to watch in the outfield and plus run those pillows. Another throw over. Espinosa is only a step or 2 off the bag. Sox are playing Lofton to hit the opposite way. Tim Raines towards the line and left. Fastball, he's tardy. Fouled off left side, upper deck. And here's our Aflac trivia question and answer. Who did the Indians beat in the last World Series? The Boston Braves, 4 games to 2 in 1948. Wow. Did not know that. Fastball inside corner, yes. Good pitch by Alvarez. And Skip Ellison tells us that they beat the Boston Red Sox in a 1-game playoff, so it could have been an all-Boston World Series. Wow. Had the Tribe not won that. Very interesting baseball history fact. Got him on a high heater. Lofton strikes out. That'll end the 4th inning, but the Tribe comes up with a run, and they lead it 5-4.
White Sox baseball on WGN is brought to you by Continental Airlines. Fly for peanuts only with Continental Airlines Peanuts Flight.
5-4 Cleveland here in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Sox. Cora, Raines, and Big Frank Thomas to face 39-year-old right-hander Dennis Martinez. Four runs, 5 hits, a big 2 errors for the Sox. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Tribe. 4 unearned runs for Cleveland in the 3rd. Joey 1 for 2, double and scored back in the 3rd inning. Hits that ball into center field. Kenny Lofton is playing shallow now on his horse, and he's got one. Makes the catch.
Boy, he saddled up in a hurry, didn't he? Well, I'll tell you what, Joey Cora has hit the ball hard those last 2 times up. He hit that one to the warning track in front of that 405 sign, so just about 400 feet. And Kenny Lofton's got a long way to go because this ball's hit right over his head, directly over. You see the drop step right there. Kenny runs to a spot and then picks up the ball. Man, he can play some D.
That'll bring up Tim Raines. Fly to center. And grounded out 1-4-3 if you're scoring. Tomey in on the grass at 3rd as he takes a curveball low. And a reminder, personalized welcomes, birthday and anniversary wishes can be displayed on the Comiskey Park scoreboard during the Sox games for $30. And that's through Chicago White Sox charity. So for more information, just dial 312-924-1000. The ball hit into right field. Manny Ramirez racing over. He's there. Got a changeup.
Well, a couple balls hit very hard right here. Martinez. Not a good pitch. Timmy saw that one out of his hand and smokes it. I'll tell you, the ball's jumping pretty darn good. Just didn't get any elevation right there. That could have easily been a homer.
So here's Big Frank. He's 1 for 2. A 2-run homer back in the 3rd, his 35th of the year. He now has knocked in 86 as Tony Pena moves to the outside. Fastball right there. Outfield bunch, they're straight up. Belle in left, Lofton in center, and Ramirez in right. Drops down. Fastball misses inside. You join us late around the horn for the Tribe. Thome at third, Vizquel at short, Espinosa at second, Murray at first, and the battery of Pena and Martinez. That fastball misses, and the count 2-1.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes when Martinez drops down, it looks like he tries to throw that ball inside because he gets that little bit more of a sinkage, a little bit more movement in on the right-handed hitter.
It's 3-1. Julio Franco, the on-deck hitter. Not a seat to be had in any of these 4 games. So if you're at home in Chicago and don't have any tickets, this is a tough one to get. The 3-1. Breaking ball hit hard. Espinosa sucks it up and throws him out. So Martinez retires the side in an order. He has retired 7 in a row. Halfway home, Cleveland by 1. Some of the Sox fans in attendance, and there are a whole bunch of them here, as there were a whole bunch of Cleveland fans last weekend at Comiskey Park. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Tribe. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Sox. It'll be Vizquel, Thome, and Albert Belle to face Wilson Alvarez. There you see Omar 0 for 2 this evening. Hit into a 4-5 fielder's choice, and he's flying to left field. Breaking ball misses. Outfield swung around to the right. Corners in close. Fastball misses. Cleveland hitting .292 as a club. This is not a good team to go 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. And there's a strike. Ball hit into left field. Tim Raines, he's there. And that's out number 1. You joined us late, Sox with 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Cleveland with 4 unearned runs in the 3rd inning. Picked up another in the 4th to lead it 5-4. Here's Jim Thome. He had a big base hit. 2-1 fastball with 2 out. 2 on, back in the 3rd. Underneath that heater, and the count 0-1. At Skydome, bottom of the 4th inning, Blue Jays leading the Rangers 3-2. That must have been a nice trip for Texas last evening. Well, what if they had lost that game?
Oh my! Go through customs. Nah, they wouldn't. Well, they probably came in through Hamilton. Oh boy!
Bottom of the 3rd at County Stadium, Milwaukee leading Minnesota 2-1. One final in the American League. Athletics beat the Orioles 4-3. They can't get that heater. So the count 1-2. In the National League, first of a twin bill at St. Louis. Cardinals leading the Braves 6-3, bottom of the 7th. Top of the 3rd at the Astrodome, Houston shutting out Pittsburgh 3-0. Fastball. 2-2 the count with Belle on deck. That fastball a little tardy. Hit deep but foul. Well, everybody here at the ballpark and around the country tonight wanted to see the matchup between the Big Hurt and Albert Belle. Both of them have gone deep.
And they'll both get a couple more chances. Hopefully Frank more than Albert.
Two-2 pitch. Breaking ball, jammed himself. Got a hanger right there. Pops it up to Ozzie. And that's out number 2.
He certainly did. Home sweet home. You see the Cleveland Indians with the best home record in baseball at 30-13 coming into tonight. Cincinnati very good. Philadelphia. And the best team on the road has been the Atlanta Braves with Montreal, Baltimore, Yankees, and the Sox. 5th best in all of baseball. Of course, the White Sox played extremely well away from Comiskey Park last year.
There's Albert. Struck out, called out in the first. Got a hanging curveball from Wilson. Hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. The ball went into the seats in right center field. Belle now with 29 homers. He's knocked in 85. Big Frank with 35 homers. He's knocked in 86. Another heater.
Did he go?
Yes, he did.
Yes, sir.
And the count 0-2.
Well, that was late right there. Wilson Alvarez had to make the appeal.
Way high in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
How about these RBI guys right here? Carter with 87, tied with Kirby Puckett. Frank Thomas with 86, Albert with 85, and Franco 83. Man, that's a good group of guys right there.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
he's gone. They didn't screw around with the curveball this time. 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez, and after 5, Cleveland leads it 5-4. Top of the 6th inning. Indians leading 5-4 in the first of this big 4-game set here at Jacobs Field. Sox on the first of an 8-game road trip. 4 here, 4 at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City against the Royals. Well, the good guys, it'll be Franco Ventura and Warren Newson to face Dennis Martinez. Franco 1 for 2, a single, a run scored. Outfield bunch. Swung around to the right. Tomey way back at 3rd. Eddie Murray well off the line at 1st. Sidearm fastball runs inside, and the count 1-0. Ball hit hard. Meanwhile, Alvaro Espinosa's there to suck it up and throw him out. And a reminder, the Sox and Leaf Candy are offering fans an $8 Upper Deck Reserve ticket. Free when you bring 6 Leaf Candy wrappers with a completed order form to window number 1 at Comiskey Park or any Ticketmaster location at least 24 hours before game time. So for details, look for displays wherever Leaf Candies are sold. Here's Robin Ventura. Robin, a bunt single. He scored and walked. Backdoor curveball. Fastball. Nice sinker right there by Martinez.
Wow. First win was obviously with the Orioles. 9/14/76. Alvarez was 6 years old. Dennis from Granada, Nicaragua.
No 2 pitch. Here's a base hit. Just slap that fastball up high off the plate into left field. So Robin 2 for 2.
And that breaks a string of 8 consecutive hitters retired by Martinez.
And a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago White Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox. That'll bring up Warren Newson. The Deacon is single and he's grounded to second. Deacon first and 30. 5-4 Cleveland here in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball strike.
You know, the 2 games I've seen Martinez pitch this year, he's thrown a lot more fastballs than what I've been accustomed to watching him pitch in the National League. I remember watching him pitch with the Expos a few times where he was almost exclusively curveball pitcher and winning. You know, changing angles on its speeds, just showing the fastball. He's using his fastball in this league a lot more for an out pitch.
That fastball a little high, says McClellan, and the count evens at 1. A ball, a strike, and out. 5-6-0 for the Tribe, 4-6-2 for the Sox. 4 unearned runs for Cleveland in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And you know, in all those good pitchers that the Baltimore Orioles had years ago, I always felt like Martinez was the toughest one to hit at.
Oh, he is from a right-handed standpoint.
Oh.
Warren helps him out. So Martinez on top, 1-2. Lance Johnson on deck if Newsom can do something. Ventura just a short lead at first. Turn that sinker over. Try to nip the outside corner. Now Martinez and Pena taking a whole bunch of time.
Get those guys on their heels out there on defense.
Please. Chopper. Tomey can't get it. Vizquel does. Over to Espinoza. They can't turn it, but they force Ventura. 2 down.
Well, I'll tell you, that Vizquel has really solidified this defense for Cleveland. He's got far better range than what they have had in recent years. And he is very smooth out there. Tomey gets in his way right there, obstructs his vision. Look at the play he makes. A perfect throw to Espinoza, who just happened to be in the area at second base.
Yeah, he was cheating coming across that bag. You can see how far in front of the bag he was when he caught it.
Now, you could almost call him safe right there. He was nowhere near second base.
Well, if I were an umpire, I'd do the same thing. I'd call him out. It's hard to make those guys when that guy's bearing down on you. Tag the bag, you're going to have more cuts, broken ankles, legs out there.
Yeah, that's very true.
Get a good jump and go, Warren. Lance Johnson steps in.
You know, there's just not many Bill Mazeroskis around anymore, is there? Those tree trunks at second.
Well, that guy that I mentioned earlier was the best I ever saw. Dick Green. He'd stand right there with you.
Yeah.
I don't care if your name was Kirk Gibson or who.
You know, I would have loved to see a confrontation with Kirk Gibson and Bill Mazeroski, because when I was a kid, I slid into second base, and Maz hurt me. I was the one that limped off the field.
0-1 the count to Lance. Martinez got that curveball over. That one misses, so with the count 1-1, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with the Duke Meister, Tom Paciorek, Ken Harrelson from Jacobs Field. Top of the 6th inning, 2 out. Lance twice has grounded to second base. One time he knocked in a run as Warren spun his wheels. He was off it. He spun his wheels and couldn't go but about 4 or 5 feet.
Looks like the only guy in the field tonight with any traction is Kenny Lofton. And he's got superhuman speed.
Let's take a look at this. Watch Warren right here. Right here now. He just couldn't get it going.
That's right. So those legs were flying every direction, weren't they?
Lance had to go back and get a new bat. Found that it was either chipped or cracked.
Oh, phew. Thought you were going to say something different.
See what Pena wants to do right here. As just a short lead by Newsom. He does not go. Pitch inside, 2-2. Tomorrow night, Jason Barea against Jack Morris. And that game we'll have for you right here over WGN. On Saturday, Scott Sanderson against Jason Grimsley. And in the finale on Sunday, young Alex Fernandez against Charles Nagy, who was expected to make his start. He was hit on the knee by a line drive. As there's a line drive into left field just over the outstretched leap of Omar Vizquel. Now Newsom trip going around second base and just does get back in.
The catcher, number 10, Mike LaValliere.
Albert Belle almost got him right. Good job of hitting here by Lance Johnson. Going the opposite way, a little inside-out action on that swing. Smokes it over the head of Vizquel. Albert Belle never hesitates. Well, he sees the Deacon falling. Boy, he almost got him as he's trying to get back to second.
So here's LaValliere. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, and he's grounded to first. That's into left field. Little soft fly ball. Bell's there. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across, a couple of hits. No errors, 2 left. After 5.5, Indians by 1.
We're back at Jacobs Field in Cleveland, and what has turned out to be a very pleasant evening for baseball. No rain delay as anticipated. But there's the bad news. In the bottom of the 6th inning, our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape shows you that Cleveland has a 1-run lead, 5-4. Sox have out-hit the Tribe 7-6, but they've out-errored them 2-0. The Sox took a 4-run lead off this man, Dennis Martinez. Lance Johnson and Mike LaValliere had ground outs to score runs in the 2nd inning. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, put the Sox ahead 4-0 on a 2-run homer to right center. And then Wilson Alvarez gave up 4 unearned runs in the 3rd. Jim Thome had an RBI double, and Albert Belle, the big blow in this game, a 3-run homer. That tied the game. And the Indians added another run in the 4th. Espinoza had an RBI ground out. Actually, that turned out to be a fielder's choice. But here's Eddie Murray, 0 for 2. Eddie flied to center and grounded to first. Sox outfield deep and straight away for the former Baltimore slugger. Switch hitter. Pops this one up. On the fastball, never fear, one dog is there. Left center field. Lance Johnson puts it away. So very quickly, Alvarez gets the first out in the 6th.
Right fielder, number 24.
And how about Eddie Murray's career? The all-time home run leader list. Willie Stargell at 16th, tied with Stan the Man Musial at 475. Dave Winfield, 462. Eddie Murray, 455. Carl Yastrzemski, 452. If you hit more homers than the Yaz, you are something. Eddie Murray has had a great career. Baltimore, the Dodgers, Mets, and now the Cleveland Indians. Here's Manny Ramirez. First ball swinging, pops this one up right side. Frank Thomas, so he might get some room right there. Whoa, and he makes the catch. Frank didn't know where that ball was. He went to the stands and was a little bit nonchalant right there by the camera well, but the ball came back and he makes the catch. We'll see the end of it. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Watch Frank. This is what he's supposed to do. Get over there, get the angle, and whoa, piece of cake. I'll tell you what, Wilson Alvarez has got a good fastball tonight, and he's showing it as this game goes on. Hopefully the White Sox will be able to muster an offense against Martinez. Trailing by 1. Here's Maldonado. Heater misses down low. And the Stadium Club at Comiskey Park, catered by the Levy Restaurants, provides the perfect setting for a social and corporate events when the White Sox hit the road. Grounded foul. For more information on this first-class area with a view of the field, call 312-335-5045. The Stadium Club. Oh, yeah, they've got great food. Oh. Yep, we love it. Here's the 0-2 pitch coming to Maldonado. He lines this one right at Ozzie. So very quickly, a 1-2-3 inning for Wilson. We've played 6. Sox trail at 5-4. Back at Jacobs Field, Jake on the Lake is what they call it here in Cleveland. Boy, what a beautiful ballpark and a sellout crowd. Tribe averaging over 38,000 per home game. And they have been good here at Jacobs Field. 30-13 in their inaugural season. You see they lead the Sox 5-4. They have 6 hits. Good guys in black have 7. The White Sox with a very critical error in the 3rd inning set up 4 unearned runs for the Tribe. So Wilson Alvarez, when you look at his line, is very good, but he has made some mistakes on pitch selection, particularly the get me over curveball to Albert Belle, who is an outstanding cripple hitter with first base open in the 4th inning. But stuff happens, and you got to battle back from those sort of things. So here's Ozzie Guillen to start things off. It'll be Ozzie, Joey Cora, and Tim Raines. Hopefully Frank Thomas will get a shot at Martinez here in the 7th. First pitch, curveball, bit high. So Martinez, who has won 217 ball games, losing 169 times in his career. Boy, he has really turned it around. Last year, 15-9 with Montreal. Good changeup. Oh, he hadn't featured that change very often. Going basically fastball, curveball, and different angles over the top, sidearm, 3/4. Career 3.6 earned run average. There's a breaking ball fouled at home plate. Clyde Wright is in the ballpark this evening, the former California Angel pitcher. Clyde, whose son was just signed to the Cleveland Indians, their #1 draft choice, 18 years old. So I guess Clyde's an agent now. He's got to throw harder than his old man. There's a fastball, misses outside. So Ozzie, a 2-2 pitch coming up. Leading off things for the Sox here in the 7th inning. Martinez gave up 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and nada since then. 3 scoreless frames. And as we mentioned, that depleted Cleveland bullpen needs a rest tonight, so Martinez needs some innings. There's a 1-hopper to Vizquel, jam sandwich, and he throws him out. So 1 out here in the 7th.
Second baseman number 28, Joey Cora.
Joey Cora hits. Joey swung the bat well. Grounded the shortstop, hit a double to left center, scored in the 3rd inning, and hit a deep fly to center field. Joey hitting .391 against the Tribe this year. Takes a breaking ball up high. That was a slider. Joey, a .286 hitter on the year with 2 homers, 26 driven in. I think they're playing him just a shade deeper now in the outfield. Belle and Lofton, that is. Pours one in there. Strike 1. 1-1. Three tie. Texas at Toronto in the 5th inning at Skydome. Milwaukee leads Minnesota 3-1 at County Stadium. They're in the 5th inning. Oakland this afternoon beat Baltimore 4-3, so they continue to play well. Slider down low. Fish ain't biting. The Atlanta Braves struggling. Losers tonight at St. Louis, Busch Stadium, 6-3 to the Cards. And they're playing a doubleheader. Ooh. Houston 4-0 over Pittsburgh in the 3rd at the Astrodome. That's fouled at home plate. Tony Pena tries to put the tag on Joey Cora for naught. And Ameritech presents the official White Sox hotline. Call 976-WSOX anytime for the latest game reports, Sox news, and special event information. Each call is just 95 cents. That's 976-WSOX. 976-9769 for the Ameritech White Sox hotline. There's a look at Tim Raines on deck. Joey Cora trying to reach. Trying to get the big hurt up there. Here in the 7th. Breaking ball ripped into center field, base hit. Boy, Joey kept his hands back nicely right there. And he's hit the ball hard all 4 trips to the plate.
Left fielder number 30, Tim.
Take a look. 2-2 curveball. Oh, he didn't quite get the downward movement that he'd like, but Joey with that very short stride, watch it. Barely picks that right foot up, head down on contact. Nice job of hitting. That's a nice. So Tim Raines will hit. The Rock 0 for 3 in this contest. Line to right field his last time up. Boy, he smoked one. Got a changeup from Martinez and ripped it right to the wall. Manny Ramirez made a good running catch in right field. This is the Hawk-a-Roo's pick to click, and he takes a fastball outside. Sox trying to extend that 4-game winning streak. And Cleveland trying to rebound from a heartbreaking loss last night to the Texas Rangers. Quick throw over to first base. Joey not going anywhere. Cora 8 for 11 in stolen bases on the season. Raines hitting at .259 as he stands in. Rock with 9 homers, 43 driven in. Boy, Martinez, when that runner gets on base, he really shuts it down. Timmy now 4th on the all-time stolen base list, 761 pilfers in his career. And there's Big Frank with that weight problem. Can't wait to get the home plate. Breaking ball. Called a strike. 1-1. Martinez from the stretch. The 1-1, the rain's coming up. Well, he steps off. Well, he just goes in that four corners. The Ed Norton school of pitching. With nobody on base, well, he just gets it and throws it. Here's a quick throw to first base once again. I think right here, Joey doesn't want to risk getting thrown out at second base and eliminate the chance of Frank Thomas hitting in this inning. Got to get the big hurt up there. Pitch popped up. Jam shot. Alvaro Espinoza in shallow right field makes the catch. And there's two gone. And here's Frank Thomas's homer from the third inning against Martinez. He tries to dot the outside corner, and the ball looked like it was going to be there, but all of a sudden that late movement, the sinker action, brought that to the outer half of the plate, and he smoked it into the cheap seats.
So Vizquel, Pena, Martinez all want to have a little confab, a little chit-chat about Big Frank. And you're right, that movement on that fastball by Martinez that Thomas said out of here came right back over the heart, and Frank heard it.
There you see the numbers. He hit it hard to the second baseman. His last time up, he struck out to end the first. 376, 35 with 86 now for Frank Thomas. Whoa, he comes way inside. Frank now tied with Junior. And if Ken Griffey Jr. ever gets to play again, he can go to work at that in his attempt to win the American League home run title.
Martinez just moving Frank off the plate with that fastball tailing inside as Pena moves to the outside. And that first pitch protected the second one.
Yeah, no doubt. Martinez working to Thomas, 1-1, setting up outside again. That one misses. It's in the left-handed batter's box. Most of the crowd here wanted it.
Well, he's got him 2-1 with 3 fastballs. He's got a big strike zone for Frank to handle right now.
See what he comes with. Drops down with the fastball once again, and that misses badly, low and away.
And that compresses the strike zone too to Big Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge pitch right there for Martinez. So we'll see with the runner at first base what he elects to do. He knows that Frank Thomas can really hurt him if he throws a breaking ball, if he happens to hang one. And Dennis does not have his best breaking ball tonight. Drops down again and fires it right over the heart of the plate. That was very similar to the pitch he hit out.
Well, I think what he might do right here is just drop down the same arm angle, come with that breaking ball.
Well, that could very well be.
He's thrown him 5 straight heaters.
Yeah, he has. I don't recall him throwing a sidearm breaking ball yet this evening. We'll see what the 39-year-old Nicaraguan decides to do right here as the fans really getting into it.
Oh, that's a balk.
Well, he may have answered his own question right there now that first base is open. Brain cramp?
Yeah.
We've all had them.
It looks like he may have turned his ankle just a little bit. Probably when he realized he was going the wrong way.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that page, I'll tell you, it makes it a little tougher for Frank here mentally because that strike zone now is going to get a little bigger.
Wow. Pretty basic balk right there. I mean, very obvious one. Stepping off like he was going to second, or spinning off. He's battled, though, tonight. He's a great competitor. Dennis Martinez in 6 2/3, 8 hits, 4 runs. He's walked 1 while striking out 2, 102 pitches. And we'll see what he comes with right here. Pena setting up outside again. Fastball grounded. 2-hopper. Espinosa throws out Thomas, and that'll do it. Nothing for the Sox. They strand a runner. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Cleveland leads at 5-4.
As you check out our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape, 5-6-0 for the Tribe, 4-8-2 for the good guys. Wilson Alvarez has retired 8 in a row. He will face Pena, Espinosa, and Lofton. If you joined us late, Sox took the lead with 2 in the first inning. RBIs by Johnson and LaValliere on ground outs to second base. Sox came back with 2 more in the third. 2-run homer to right center field by the big hurt Frank Thomas. They led it 4-0. Indians came back with 4 unearned runs in the bottom of the third. Pena led it off with a single. Espinosa popped up to Thomas. An error by Ozzie on a fielder's choice. A force play at second. He dropped it. Allowed Lofton to reach safely. Then Vizquel popped up. RBI double by Tomey. Then Wilson Alvarez hung a curveball up and away to Albert Belle, who hit it out of here to right center field. Cleveland came back with 1 RBI single by Espinosa in the 4th, and that is it. 5-4 Tribe. And once again, also a reminder, tomorrow night, the second of this 4-game set, and we'll have it for you right here over WGN. It'll be Jason Bray against Jack Morris tomorrow night at 6, right here over GN. So here we go. Tony Pena, he single, scored, has a sacrifice bunt. Pena taking a lot of time getting into the box, so Wilson says, well, I'll just take my time. So the 37-year-old veteran, Tony Pena, now is set. Wilson pours a fastball strike right there. Outfield, shaded around to the right. Capacity crowded Jacobs Field. And there's going to be a capacity crowd if you just tuned in. Each of this 4-game series. No more tickets to be had. About 4 o'clock this afternoon, it appeared there would be absolutely no chance for a baseball game. As there's a changeup off the end of the bat, right field. Warren Newson, can of corn. 1 down. That rain was coming down so hard, and there was severe lightning. But Skip Ellison called back to Chicago to Tom Skilling for a weather report here in Cleveland. And Tom Skilling's report was indeed, we will play this ball game, and the chances are very slight of further rain. And also, right after this ball game, it'll be the news and Tom Skilling's weather right after the game. First pitch changeup misses. Espinosa 0 for 2 with an RBI. Now that's something, having to go back to Chicago to get the weather for Cleveland. And it's been right on the money, Thomas. 2-0 the count. Espinosa, good 5th infield. Plays second, short, third. Ooh, good pitch right there, didn't get it. 3-1. Fouls it back, full count. And we got some vendors of beer at Comiskey Park here at Jacobs Field. Got tickets to come down. Bob Coyne, Gary Kaplan, Jimmy Mack, Abe Rapuch. Abe Rapuch. What does that mean in Polish, Duke?
Abe Rapuch?
That mean
The
vendor,
pooch.
beer vendor at Comiskey Park?
I think it could very well be.
Sounds logical, doesn't it? Got a lot of Sox fans in attendance tonight, rooting their club on to victory. And how long has it been since you've seen as many Cleveland fans at Comiskey Park as there was last weekend? Another heater, foul straight back. Make the play, Duke. Don't drop your mic.
Hold your applause. Thank you.
Nice little catch by the Whip-a-Roo.
You know, pound
That
for
will
pound.
give our team some momentum right there. If anything, that'll do it. Yes, he's gone.
The center fielder, number 7, Kenny.
Good heater right here by Alvarez. Yes, sir. Right in the outside corner. Bell tie. Alvaro Espinoza can't catch up with it. Does that mean I get like to keep this thing?
Nah. Boy, that thing's got scuff marks all over it. I'm talking about shoe polish.
Oh.
Kenny Lofton takes a breaking ball. Now, if you were hitting, would you want to hit with that baseball?
No.
Me either. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Curveball strike, and the count evens at 1. Another hook. Lofton doubled in the first, reached on an arrow. In the third, he scored, and he struck out swinging on a high heater in the fourth. Fastball pops him up short center field. Can of corn. Lance Johnson's there. And that's going to be 11 in a row retired by Alvarez, but they'll go to the 8th, and Wilson trails it 5-4. Let's check out our game summary. 5-4 Cleveland, top of the 8th inning. Big Frank, his 35th homer in the 3rd. Sox 4 unearned runs they allowed in the bottom of the 3rd. Wow. Albert Belle hit his 29th in the 3rd. Martinez has retired 14 of 18 after Big Frank's homer. So for the Sox here in the 8th, it'll be Franco, Ventura, and Warren Newsom. Franco 1 for 3, a single. Leading off the 2nd, he scored. Got a couple of veterans here who are going to jockey around a little bit for the pace of the at-bat. Franco certainly will not let Dennis Martinez dictate his rhythm up there. And the same for Martinez to Franco. There's a shot fastball right back to the middle. Well, Skip Ellison's picked a click, 2 for 4.
And most importantly, the leadoff man out for the Sox here in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Boy, he dropped down right there. That sinking fastball of his kind of tailed back over the middle of the plate once again, and Franco didn't miss it. He just raked it right back at the Cleveland pitcher.
Well, you called it earlier, Wimpy, last inning when talking about the at-bat to Frank Thomas. In the game last Saturday, Dennis Martinez would drop down and throw a lot of breaking pitches and fastballs, mixed them up about 50-50. Tonight, every time he drops down, almost 100% of the time, it's been the heater.
I can't recall a breaking ball from down under tonight.
So here's Robin. Looks at a sinker low. Robin, he's 2 for 2. Bunt single, run scored in the second, a walk in the third. He singled in the sixth.
Martinez right there tried to get Robin to bite at that sinker. He's looking for that double play ball without question.
Torch him one time, 23. Light him up. Breaking ball, back door, didn't get it. And a reminder to receive the 1994 Sox Spring Catalog and order the latest in White Sox merchandise. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Chicago White Sox Gift Catalog, 333 West 35th Street, Chicago 60616. Robin in good shape at 2-0. Off the end of the bat, base hit into right field. Franco had the hole. Now he will move into second base. So the first 2 men aboard with nobody out.
You ever have a nightmare that you hit a ball to right field, you're running in slow motion, you don't get the first base, they throw you out? That's what I felt about Franco right there when he started back towards first. Espinosa can't get up for this one, and Julio was already back at first base. Fortunately, he regrouped in a hurry and gets to second. So runners at first and second, nobody out.
I think every baseball player has had that bad dream.
Good.
So you're not the only crazy one.
Thanks. I love reinforcement.
Double-barreled activity for the Tribe. Southpaw Larry Cassian and a big right-hander Eric Plunk. So we'll see what Gene Lamont wants to do as a Tribe. They've had their little confab. Corners in close. Warren Newsom. They can be trying to get it down. Third base way. We'll see if Indians put a wheel play on. Watch out the pickoff. I like it.
That's a good pickoff play right there. You entice that runner to get out there, get that big lead. Shortstop breaks for third, and all of a sudden the second baseman comes out of nowhere. He fakes going to first, and he covers second. I tell you what, you get a lot of guys with that pickoff.
Eddie Murray will come over. Tell Martinez. Of course, Murray and Martinez were teammates at Baltimore when the Orioles were simply, no question about it, the best in all of baseball at working pickoff plays and in bunt situations. The Orioles at that time, led by Murray, would turn a situation like this into a defensive situation for the offensive team.
Yeah, you're right. They did that.
Now Vizquel will sneak in. The wheel play is not on. He fakes a bunt, takes a strike. Well, in this particular scenario right here, that was good for us, especially since Warren put the ball out there and went through it, tried to draw it back at the last moment. But Julio was hanging out around second, which he had to do because of the previous play. Had not they done anything at that particular time, the previous pitch, on a pitch like that for Martinez, he's liable to get picked off.
Yeah, and chances are he's not going to get, with what we just saw, he's not going to get as good a jump going to third base, that is. I didn't like the angle of Warren Newsom's bat right there when he put it out to bunt.
What the Tribe is doing right here, to me, is just good, solid baseball.
Absolutely.
Boy, they're trying to make the runners very tentative, play some head games with the guy at the plate. All this comes into play in ear goal. You got yourself a couple of guys out there in the base paths that are not going to get good jumps.
Yeah. And like you said, you're making it into a positive situation for yourself. Heck, what Gene Lamont might want to do to counter this is just to put the hit sign on, get all those guys moving around the infield. Chances are a ground ball will find a hole.
Now Espinosa is going to call timeout. Give a couple of signs here. So we've had Tommy give a sign. We've had Eddie Murray give a sign. Now he comes over once again. And you better watch out, if you're Robin Ventura, you better watch out Eddie Murray at first base dropping back over there for a little pickoff.
Oh, he has been known to do that.
Squares the bunt. There it is. Murray bubbles the ball. Everybody is going to be safe. He throws it away. Here comes Franco. They're going to hold Ventura at third on a mistake by Eddie Murray, and the game is tied at 5. Yes.
Well, I think there's a series of mistakes right here. First of all, pitch selection's brutal right here, Hawk. A slow curveball in a bunt situation. My goodness, that's the easiest pitch in the world to bunt. You got to throw a high fastball right here and find out what this guy's going to do. And Warren, even if he is swinging, is not real solid upstairs. Eddie Murray trying to do too much. He had no play at third base. And he should have just stuck it in his pocket right there. He compounds that error by throwing it away.
He was going to go to third, and I'll tell you, it was going to be questionable at third.
Yeah.
There was not a sure out over there with Franco going in, and they're going to put Lance Johnson on.
Well, the thing about that, too, though, Hawk, if he bunts out a fastball in that direction, that ball will be hit hard enough where Murray will be able to make that play easily to third base.
I know one thing. The best and the easiest pitch to bunt is a breaking ball.
Without question, because your concentration, the pitcher is helping you deaden the ball.
I love it.
I have never understood why pitchers or catchers would call that pitch in a bunt situation for the life of me.
Wimpy, I have played for managers that would fine pitchers and catchers throwing a breaking ball, unless it was a breaking ball pitch out, which you don't see very often now. But fine them for throwing a breaking ball in that definite man on first and second, nobody out bunt situation. So that'll load them up. Sacks packed with Sox. And nobody out to LaValliere. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Twice he's grounded to the right side. Once to second, once to first. Then the last time up hit a little soft fly ball in the left field.
No, what they're looking for right here, the Tribe is anyway, is a turn and double play because LaValliere does not run well. Home to first on a ground ball hit at any one of the infielders.
So the infield in, first pitch, sinker strike. Five runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Sox. 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 huge error for Cleveland. Boy, time goes on. You would have never seen Eddie Murray make that play when he was in Baltimore.
Oh, no.
As you said, he would have just, after he bobbled it, he would have stuck it right in his pocket.
Well, this has not been a real pretty ball game.
It's been an
period.
ugly game.
Real ugly. I think guys are just trying to do a little bit too much tonight because of the importance of this game on both sides.
That fastball inside. Close pitch by Martinez. He wanted it, didn't get it, and the count evens at 1. Ventura at third. Good speed in Warren Newson at second. And great speed in first. And Lance Johnson. Outfield shaded a bit to the left. A pitch off the corner. Turned it over. Missed. Now LaValliere in good shape at 2-1. The one thing about Martinez, though, in all his 18 years of experience, this count won't back him down at all. If he wants to throw a breaking ball, he'll still throw it.
Yeah. Of course, in this situation, I would think that he'd stay with the fastball.
Yes, I would too, to LaValliere. Breaking ball.
Exactly why he threw that breaking ball, because we knew he was going to throw a fastball.
And the count 2-2. Anything in his arsenal will come at you at any time, regardless of the situation.
Absolutely. Well, that just comes from confidence in your abilities.
Although that appeared to be just a get-me-over breaking ball.
It wasn't a good one. You're right.
So here's a big pitch in a 5-5 tie, top of the 8th. Now Martinez taking too much time for Mike. He's had some success against Martinez.
Of course, most of that done in the National League when Mike was with the Cardinals and Pirates.
One time. The 2-2.
Hello.
That's into left field. Albert Belle backing up. Ventura tagging. Belle makes the catch. Here comes Robin. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Sox lead at 6-5.
Yes.
Good at bat for LaValliere.
And Spanking gets his 16th RBI of the season as Robin Ventura races home from third. Hey, Albert, he's got a pretty strong throwing arm. I'll tell you what, if that ball was hit 5 feet shorter and he gets everything going forward, that would have been a bang-bang play.
The Frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt.
Every time he jumped. You're right. A lot of ifs.
So here's Ozzie. Come on, Oz. Oz 0 for 3. Twice he's grounded to short, and he also has struck out. Now Pena for some more signs.
Well, that pitch total getting up now on Dennis Martinez.
Good.
Well, you mentioned how successful he's been his last 12 starts. He has obviously pitched a whole bunch of innings.
He's 8-0.
Yeah.
Now Terry Bevington's going to go through some signs. So some cat and mouse games between the two skippers. Tomey, even with the bag, off the line at third. Murray back at first. Outfield short, swung around to the left.
Da-dum, da-dum. Boy, he just completely shuts it down, especially when somebody gets to second.
This may have been a record for us this year in signs given by both teams in 1/2 inning.
Yeah. I didn't understand any of them.
Where's Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, really. We need Frank Drebin here.
Now Tim McClellan trying to get this game speeded up.
I don't blame you, Tim.
Well, you cannot let Dennis Martinez dictate your pace at the plate. It's just that simple. He's going to hold the ball on you. So in that case, you just go ahead and back out, do your thing, get your thoughts, collect your thoughts, and then get back in at your pace. Breaking ball popped up. Kenny Lofton, he's there, and that's out number 2. So again, 0 for 4 tonight.
Second baseman, number 28, Joey Cora.
Boy, those Levy brothers are something, aren't they?
Levy Brothers Restaurants, I'll tell you why. You don't think they put out some good stuff?
Yes, they do.
Here's Joey Cora. Joey 2 for 4. A double and a run scored in the third. And he singled last inning.
The only thing I'm worried about the Levy brothers, I might not be able to get in this seat by Sunday.
Fastball, tailing fastball, and the count 0-1. Joey has swung the bat well tonight. Hit it hard to the shortstop. Hit the double hard. Took Kenny Lofton back on the warning track in dead away center field and singled sharply to center. One more time, Joey.
Yeah, he's been on Martinez all night.
Lays off the high heater, and the count evens at 1.
Yeah, Joey's in a good hitting mode tonight.
Charlie Lau would say
he is hitterish.
Right on.
Yeah, he feels it. Charlie used to lie to me all the time and say that I looked at him.
Charlie had to lie to you occasionally. Well, whatever it took.
That's right. That's right.
That ball hit into center field.
Called
Lofton
it.
going back. He's there. Makes the catch, and it'll retire the side. But the Sox pick up a couple of runs on just 2 hits, a very large error. And after 7.5, they lead it 6-5. A new tale of the tape here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sox scoring twice, taking a 6-5 lead. For the Tribe, it'll be Vizquel, Tomey, and Albert Belle to face Wilson Alvarez. Vizquel, 0 for 3. Hit into a 4-5 fielder's choice. And twice he has gone out to Tim Raines and left. Takes a fastball high. One and one the count.
Thank you very much. He just went after ball 2. Be interesting to see just how Gene Lamont plays it here in the last couple of innings from a pitching standpoint. Yaha.
That's on the inside corner, and the count 1 and 2.
Think we may see Hernandez the pitch to Albert.
Why, there's a shot foul. For my money, there'll be no question about it.
Yeah.
Although you're going to bring some of those left-handed hitters off. Mainly Paul Sorrento hit a couple of home runs the other night.
Yeah, later on. But the way Roberto is throwing the ball right now, this Indian team is a good fastball hitting team down. When Roberto throws that pitch up, very few guys can get to it.
Jammed him right there. From our vantage point, we cannot see the Sox bullpen except for the players just sitting watching the ball game. There is somebody throwing. That's the shot we have. And I don't see Roberto. I was watching him throw with Darren Jackson in between innings, and he was bringing it.
He wants in there.
Little soft line drive to Ventura, and the lead man down.
Yeah, right here now. Wilson's got the lefty. It's fun managing the team, isn't it? So everybody's sitting back in their home trying to figure out what the moves would be. Here's
Well, they're
Wilson's
doing the same
line.
thing. That's the great thing about baseball.
Darn right. He's thrown 98 pitches. He's given up 5 runs, only 1 of which is earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So he has put it in gear. He made a mistake with the breaking ball to Albert Belle. And that's pretty much it. And Wilson has thrown the ball extremely well when he's gone to his fastball almost exclusively since the 3rd inning.
Here's Jim Thome. Big RBI double and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Outfield for the most part straight up. Gets a breaking pitch over and a count 0-1. Low and away. And the count evens at 1. Thome just 23 years old, 6'4", 225 pounds, out of Peoria. He's strong. Got a chance to be an outstanding offensive player. Pops that fastball up left center field. Lance Johnson. He's there. And that's out number 2. So 2 out. And here comes Albert Belle. Here's what he did back in the 3rd inning with 2 on, 2 out. Look at the first pitch. High curveball. And you can put it on the board.
You know, he just stays closed so long. That's why he's such a good breaking ball hitter. He sees the pitch away and his body reacts in that manner. Just another complete turn. And we called it. We predicted it. Let's see if it comes true.
He has made the sign to the bullpen. Fine job done by Wilson Alvarez, going 7 2/3, giving up just 1 earned run. And we'll be back with the numbers on Roberto Hernandez right after this. And AT&T's first call to the bullpen is for not Roberto Hernandez, but the right-hander Kirk McCaskill. AT&T salutes Professional Displays Chicago Inc. the AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you.
Here's a look at Wilson Alvarez talking with pitching coach Jackie Brown. A great effort by the youngster. I'll tell you, he hung in there. After those 4 unearned runs in the 3rd inning, he gave up 1 in the 4th, but it's been nothing since then over the last 3 2/3. Like we said, he went almost exclusively with the fastball during this last period of time. Of course, Kirk McCaskill's been on a roll. I'll tell you, Eddie has been throwing the ball great. 1 and 2 with a 2.30 earned run average in 34 games. He has 3 saves, 47 innings, 38 hits, 17 walks, 37 strikeouts. His last outing was terrific against the Tigers. Pitched 5 innings, sucked up a win there, gave up 1 hit, didn't walk anybody, and he punched out 5. He was super.
Well, here's Belle. Only hit that McCaskill gave up in that 5-inning stint against Detroit was a 3-0 fastball to Alan Trammell. Ball 1. Belle struck out in the 1st and 5th. Hit that 3-run homer in the 3rd. Ground ball on the fastball. Ozzy's up with it. Over to Big Frank, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Sox pitching here in the bottom of the 8th. They'll go to the 9th, leading Cleveland 6-5. Sox here in the top of the 9th looking to put some insurance points on that board. 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Sox. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Tribe. It'll be Raines, Thomas, and Franco. As the paid attendance tonight, 41,863. Here's Raines. He's 0 for 4. Breaking ball, jams him. So with the count 0-1, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with Tom Paciorek, Ken Harrelson from Jacobs Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And a reminder, immediately following the ball game, it will be the WGN News, Sports, and Weather. That's low and inside, 1-1 to count. Also, during the WGN News, Randy Salerno will have a live report from Jacobs Field. Backdoor curve, didn't get it. And the count 2-1. Two-one pitch. Change. Took a lot off. Had him way out in front. Off the glove of Martinez. Raines will beat it out. And that'll be an infield single for Rock, but more importantly, the leadoff man aboard.
Wow. Martinez could kick himself right here because he knows that's an easy play for him. This ball was not hit that hard. Like a one-hopper right back to El Presidente. As Hawk mentioned earlier, he's been a good fielding pitcher his entire career. Look, he sets himself up, boom, right there off the end of his glove.
That's just a piece of cake right there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a cookie.
We take that one.
So here's Big Frankie's 1 for 4. Cranked out his 35th homer in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot. He now has knocked in 86. This should be Vizquel. Espinosa, rack him up. Quickly 2 down. And a reminder, later on tonight right here over WGN, 2 escaped convicts are on the run, and they've cooked up some incredible disguises. Robert De Niro and Sean Penn masquerade as priests until the coast is clear. And We're No Angels. That's tonight at 11:30 right here on WGN.
Are you talking to me? It's a good movie. I saw it. Very good. Real funny. See these guys pose as priests.
I saw it. Here's Julio Franco. 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. That's the 97th double play the Indians have turned this year. Franco started off at 2 and 8 with a sharp single. Sidearm fastball from Martinez right back through the middle. Takes the ball there and the count 1-0. Breaking ball misses. 2-0. Well, anything Robert De Niro ends going to be good to excellent.
You got that right.
Well, what an actor. Wow.
Pound for pound, I'll tell you.
Here's a 2-0. Sidearm breaking ball just on the outside corner. Now that is nasty.
Yeah, there's a good breaking ball from down under. One of the very few he's thrown tonight.
Casey looking to the Cleveland ninth. Murray, Ramirez, and Maldonado. But we'll see probably a couple of pinch hitters. Fastball to Hopper. Vizquel over to Murray, and that'll do it. So nothing across for the Sox. They'll go to the bottom of the ninth in the first of this 4-game set. They lead the Tribe 6-5. Bottom of the ninth inning, and a pitching change for the Sox. Gene Lamont has taken Kirk McCaskill out and gone to the southpaw, Paul Ossenmacher. Paul making his 38th appearance of the year. He's picked up 1 save. 1-2 record, 3.90 ERA. In 27 2/3, he's given up 25 hits, 12 earned runs, 12 walks, and he has 21 strikeouts. So the schedule hitters. We'll just see if Gene Lamont wanted to turn Eddie Murray around and then go get Roberto Hernandez. Murray 0 for 3 tonight. Twice he has flied to Lance Johnson, and once he has grounded out to Big Frank.
Well, Gene probably is looking at Murray's numbers from the right side. He's hitting .212 coming in to this ball game. So with that 0 for 3, Murray with 3 homers, 21 driven in right-handed, 11 and 46 left-handed.
So here we go, a 6-5 Sox lead. Outfield shaded to the left as Ossenmacher misses down low.
Well, you mentioned that they do have some left-handed thunder on that bench. Of course, they do have Sandy Alomar, too. Did not start this game.
Breaking ball. He did not go. Meanwhile, the count 2-0.
Indians this year against left-handed starters, 11 and 14. Against right-handers, 43 and 23. Whew, big difference.
Fouls that one away. So it's a 2-1 count to the 38-year-old veteran. And Jason Bray tomorrow night will tee it up against Jack Morris in game 2 of this 4-game series, and we'll have that game for you right here over WGN. Poof. Skip Ellison throws it right up. Big pitch right here. The 2-1. And it's 2-2. Now that slider down and in. That slurve comes into big play mentally.
It's a heck of a lot harder to take that pitch in this situation.
2-2 than it is 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Asemacher, that's his best pitch. You got to give him your best stuff. I got to come back in there with 2 of them. Pull the string on him, and Murray is gone, out number 1. That was so bad, he got Murray.
Oh, it was, you're right. Murray have to be thinking the same thing down and in. Looks like it's just a spiral. Watch it. Backdoor hanger, whatever you want to call it, it worked.
What, that's awesome.
Great pitch.
And here comes Gene Lamont. Asemacher will depart. And we'll be back with the numbers on the big hard-throwing right-hander Roberto Hernandez in just a short. One out here in the bottom of the 9th inning and a pitching change for the Sox. Roberto Hernandez comes on in relief of Paul Asemacher. Wimpy?
Well, Roberto has really been throwing the ball great of late. Throw out those numbers, 3-3 with a 5.40 earned run average in 36. He has 10 saves, given up 37 hits and 38 in the third. 15 walks, but he is really increasing that punch-out total. He is just blowing folks away right now. So Roberto, last appearance against the Tigers, here's what he did. He just struck out 4 batters in a row. In an inning and a third, Roberto 2-0 with a 0.79. 3 saves in his last 10 outings. That's 1 earned run in 11 and a third innings. So he's getting that ERA down where it's supposed to be, and he is doing everything the White Sox expected him to.
Here's Manny Ramirez. Grounded to short, singled and scored in the 4th, and he popped up to Big Frank in the 6th. Paul Sorrento out on deck to hit from Maldonado as the outfield moves around to the right. Ventura guarding the line at third. Big Frank back and well off the line at first. Yes. 0-1 to count.
There's Sorrento on deck, and George Kirby has grabbed the bat. He'll bat for Tony Pena if his...
Wayne.
Did I say George?
Didn't you?
Get excited and look what happened.
Fastball strike outside corner and the count 0-2.
Of course, George Kirby was from that infamous comedy series Topper.
One and 2 the count to the 22-year-old right fielder Manny Ramirez. Sox trying to pick up their 58th victory of the season and go 22 games over the 500 mark. Just got a piece of that heater.
Boy, just keeps pouring it on that outside corner, 90-mile-an-hour plus. Good pitch by Roberto. Boy, what a game this could be. Big. It's a 2-game swing with... Any way you look at it, Sox are either going to be 1 game up or 3.
Just off the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yes! Yes, he's gone.
Man, that's just a laser on the outside corner. Ramirez had no chance on this one. Take a look. Spanky's sitting up on the outside corner, and he delivers it right there. Wow, just above the knees. He aced him.
That was a great sequence of location. So here's Sorrento. Ball hitting at 275, 10 homers. He's knocked in 51. He has been hot lately. Outfield straight up. Fastball into left field. This is a can of corn for Tim Raines as he is there. Yes! And the Sox come back after trailing 5-4 with 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning. They take the first of this huge 4-game set. They win it 6-5. And we'll check out the Central updated standings. There you see Sox now with a 3-game lead over the Tribe. And Wimpy and I'll be back to wrap it up right after this. And tonight's Miller Genuine Draft Light play of the game came in the 8th inning. Sox trailing 5-4, 2 on, and Warren Newson at the plate. Wimpy.
Dennis Martinez throws a curveball right here. Eddie Murray pounces on it. Well, he thinks he's going to get the out at third and can't find the handle. He compounds his problems by throwing the ball away. Tying run scores, winning run scored on the next batter. Mike LaValliere hit a sacrifice fly. Good guys hold on, 6-5.
And the totals on the board for the first of this 4-game series. For the Sox, 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. They stranded 7. For Cleveland, 5 runs, just 5 hits, 1 error. They left 2. Wilson Alvarez, a winner. He is 11-5. He retired the last 13 hitters he faced. Dennis Martinez takes a loss. He is 9-5. Credit Roberto Hernandez with his 11th save of the season. And our next Sox telecast on WGN will be tomorrow night. Game 2 of this big 4-game set between the Sox and the Tribe. It'll be Jason Bray against Jack Morris at 6 p.m. Central. The producer-director of White Sox baseball on WGN is Skip Ellison. Tonight's associate producer is John Walgren. So for my partner, the Duke Meister, Tom Paciorek, this is the Hawk Ken Harrelson. So long, everybody. Be sure and stay tuned for the WGN News.
White Sox baseball on WGN is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. Your local Ford dealer. Quality people with quality products. Coca-Cola Classic. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you. Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide. Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Southwest Airlines. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart.